grew up Catholic, and I mostly went to church with my grandmother. I remember, going to Sunday school, and the teacher told us, oh, hell doesn't exist. If, you're good, you make it to heaven, but if you're bad, then you just don't go to heaven. I started using drugs when I was right around that time, around 12 years old. Progressed into high school and definitely blew up in college. I had no fear of the consequences of my actions. I was recruited to go to a Division II school. It was all set and ready to go, and my parents had been talking it over, and what they decided was they're not gonna come with me on this trip. They don't want me going to this school. Them making that decision for me took my life in a different direction. I look back at, some close calls that I had and saying like, wow, I'm going to jail today. People who I'd been associated with or selling drugs with, they got robbed at gunpoint, and most of my friends were going to jail. Seeing this life that I wanted to follow was deteriorating fast. Was like, I want to change, but finding the way how was very difficult. I tried picking up the Bible. It didn't make sense to me. So I started praying. I think the moment that sticks out to me the most, I was high and I was praying. If I die tonight, where would I go? And that fear really gripped me, and I started having a panic attack. I looked at myself in the mirror. I didn't like what I saw. I said to myself, I can kill my entire family, and I can kill myself right now. I can end this all. And then I got hit with a really intense panic attack, and I started praying like, God, and like I would surrender all of this if you can just help me live through this night. And immediately, like, my heart was pounding at the time, and I just was completely calm. Even like my high was just gone. This was like at 1 a.m. I went down to my parents' room and I showed them everything. I think the next day it was an immediate regret. I was like, I gotta pay these people back. Went back and bought more drugs to sell, and after that, like, my parents like kind of sat me down and was like, you say you want to change, but we don't see any progress. Like, it might have said it then, but I was frustrated with myself. Just kept praying, and one day I was on campus, ran into a guy that I was in class with, and he stopped me and said, hey, I'm a part of a Bible discussion group here on campus. Would you be interested in coming? And I said yes immediately. During that time, I went on spring break, and I was still living, partying, and, drugs, and came back and, started studying out repentance. There is a consequence to your actions. You can't just live the way that you want. Before I became a Christian, I thought that I was free from commands and free from rules. I thought that I could be and do whatever I wanted. But in reality, I was living in fear every single day. And finding the truth about Jesus and the cross, that's what he died for. He has forgiven my past, my present, and future sins. And I can hold on to that truth, redeemed by his sacrifice. My purpose in life is to help people understand that. I could have never imagined, the family that I have now. Having my wife, having my son, it's just such a joy that I get to experience God's love through being a father, and finally understanding that. And my relationship with my family even has gotten 10 times better. My relationship with my dad is amazing today. Him seeing me as a dad, I can see it brings joy to him, and watching him play with my son is just amazing. I can see, just God at work. I know that there are people out there who are living the life that I used to live, who are equally stuck and don't know the truth. I think we live in a world where we just consume a lot of information. To know the truth, it was a deliberate effort. Studying with other people, the context of, what Jesus was saying, and to dig into the scriptures and to find the truth for myself. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Prove that what God says is his promise. What if what the word says is true? What if, being a Christian is what's going to cure your anxiety, your fears.
Music bed.
You know, what if God's plan for your life is to see this video and relate to me and change your life?